What's going on, guys? Today's episode is sponsored by Sonora Tires, Alakai Health, Toros Meat Market, Sleek Studios, Easy Leans Law Firm. Now let's get back to it.
All right, guys, thank you once more for tuning in to 10 Count by Deor. I'm blessed to have these two gentlemen sitting right in front of me. Seth Coleman, right in front Forge, great friend of mine. He owns a gym out there in LA, so you guys got to go check it out because they have such awesome things down there, and they do a lot of good work with all these fighters. So,
have you attempted to try to say my last name before?
No, that's why I didn't say it.
Me neither. It's all right.
That's why I didn't say it, because I don't want to mess up your last name. But what did you tell me your last name?
Rauschenberger.
There
14
we go.
letters. It's a scary one to look at.
Rauschenberger.
There you go. You nailed it.
There we go. It's such a long that I'm like, should I say it? Should I not say it? I'm like, I didn't want to say. I didn't want to mess it up. But yeah, it's a long one.
I grew up a lot just with Burger is my name.
Oh, okay.
Anything with Burger in it was my nickname.
Okay.
Yeah.
Short.
Yep.
But definitely. So tell us a little bit about your gym and how you guys got into working together, and then we're gonna go ahead and hear some awesome stories from Seth. And I can't wait, man. This is gonna be an awesome podcast because this gentleman right here, he's very super talented, and he has a lot of things that maybe not a lot of you guys know about him, but he's gonna keep telling us his story and a lot of things that you might not know about him. So stay tuned.
Yeah, it's Seth with layers of onions. Like an onion, with a lot of layers.
Onion's got layers.
Yeah.
Like that Shrek, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Complicated. Yeah.
Complicated.
Yeah, because we met up like 3 years ago now. 2 years ago. Feels like forever.
It does.
Yeah.
It's flown by.
Yeah. But yeah, like every time we talk, like always learning something new, and it's like usually something like very impressive, like amazed, like him getting through some of the things he's gone through, and then some of the things he's done are just very impressive as a human being and then as an athlete as well. Like, so we've been blessed to have him at the facility. He doesn't just come and it's just a incredible athlete and an amazing fighter, but he also he coaches at the gym.
Oh, awesome.
He really brings the energy, like the kind of vibe we want there, which is people that care about each other, a community. So he's kind of one of our. I mean, you've been there from the beginning, and one of our core attributes is like the fact that we all care about each other and want to see each other thrive, personally and professionally, athletically. So
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
yeah, it's been an honor to have him.
Oh, appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember I found the gym. I was living in downtown LA, and I found Forge through Instagram, and I was just it was like half a mile away from my spot, and I liked, well, we didn't even really have an MMA program there, but I saw Gabe Green was training there, and D-Rod was training there, and I was just like, okay, this gym that's like half a mile from where I live has like a couple of UFC fighters. I'm like, I want to train where they train.
Nice.
And I just showed
Yep.
up, and it's been
Yep.
a trip. Yeah, 2 months later, did my first fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy thing. It was like we're getting into fighting now. Like,
Yeah.
I had to,
Yeah, I think I just was like taking the classes and like had the inkling of competing again. I used to compete in taekwondo and wrestling, but I'm just like, I still got some more competition left. I still got some more fighting to do. And when I came in, I think I met Andy first, and he was like, yeah, like, you want to do this? Like, there was an order of operations into going pro. Like
Right.
A lot of people get into fighting and don't really see it as a career path or know what steps to take to get there. They just, I want to, to go from hitting the bag one day to being a professional fighter. There's a lot of in between. And Andy was like, yeah, you want to do this? We'll do this, that, and the third, and get you there. And I was like, oh, wow. And so that path was kind of made. And with the path in front of you, all you got to do is just take the steps.
Yeah, no, and big shout out to Andy. He couldn't make today, but he's an amazing trainer, awesome person. Love the guy. So, shout out to you, Andy. But yeah, let's go back to what you were saying, because a lot of people don't understand how hard it is, and the battles that you have to go through personally to be where you're at. So let's get more into the personal, side of you and what got you into, wanting to be a professional or taking this career serious, because there's a lot of like people out there that once they see how hard it is, they just tend to walk away, right? So I think you have to be a different breed. And just looking at you, like, you're so intimidating. So it's like, don't even mess with this guy. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about, your childhood and how was that? And I know you got us some stories for us. So glad to hear that.
Thanks. I got put into combat sports at 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, very young. And I'm grateful for it, because like a lot of folks, especially with kids don't know what they want to do.
Right.
One day they want to play soccer, one day they want to play football, what have you. But my parents made sure, like, you finish what you start.
Right.
And, God, I was like a little kid, and, some days, want to watch cartoons, but like, no, like you said you wanted to do this, you're going to do this, every day.
Wow.
And, yeah, we took that all the way to the Junior Olympics. I got like 3 Junior Olympic medals in Taekwondo.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, got to fight all over the U.S., fight in Korea, and most, I guess a lot of people, like, even like, in adulthood don't get the chance to like compete overseas. So it was good experience. And then as I got older, like there was a lot of like fights in the streets. I was always getting in trouble, just like getting in fights. I don't know if it was having siblings, so like you gotta help fight their battles,
Right.
like someone's picking on your brother, all of a sudden you have to fight too. And or having red hair, or like being shorter or whatever. I always felt like like if you're gonna insult me, like, let's just fight.
Right.
And that was life. And
Your parents were both fighters too.
yeah, my mom competed in kickboxing.
That's why they were so hard on you. I'm like, the parents, I don't want to watch cartoons. I want to, you gotta go fight. So that's why they had that discipline then.
Yeah, that I'm so grateful for that too.
Saturday morning leg kicks.
Like, yeah, yeah. Dad was a former Marine, and he
nice.
power lifted as well. So,
Awesome.
like, we had an understanding of like the importance of being physically fit, and yeah, sometimes it's doing the work. It's you don't have to do what feels good all the time. Sometimes you got to show up.
Right.
And now, a quick break to give a shout out to our amazing sponsors who keep this show going.
Sonora Tires.
Yo, Mando.
Oh, what up, man?
What's going on, brother? It's me, Camilo. Hey, I'm looking for
What's
some.
up, Camilo?
I'm looking for some tires, my man. What specials you got going on?
Okay. What special I got going on? You buy 2, I'm gonna give you half off the alignment. You buy all 4, you get a free alignment. We are also doing a lifetime alignment deal right now. So we only got a couple more days, man. 2 more days, only for the month of October.
All right, perfect, my man. I'll be down there right now.
Okay, man.
Cool, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, see you.
Dude, that's amazing.
Free freaking alignment for 4 tires.
Gee, that's.
Thank you to our amazing sponsors. Now back to the show.
And I'm super, like, you don't, as a kid, you don't appreciate it, but like looking back, I really appreciate it. I already, had cut weight like tons of times, so like I know what it's like to, have that discipline to say no to,
Certain things.
And yeah, like fighting in the street definitely got me in a lot of trouble. I kind of got caught up in that, and like when I got older, strayed away from competing because I felt like I had already like done enough, and I had accrued like over like I think like a dozen broken bones at the time.
Wow.
And getting kicked in the head, you get concussions and such. So at a certain, I think around like high school, the end of high school, I was doing wrestling and stuff, but I started getting more interested in partying, and the competition side like faded.
Do you think because you've done it so much and you got so much accomplished, you think that that's the reason you wanted to go ahead and, okay, now let me go ahead and see the party life?
Yeah.
Did you at some point say like, it's like you said, I've already done so much, now let me try something different? Did that in any way, shape, or form pretty much just got you out of that environment and into something other or something different?
Yeah, I think that like I wanted to like experience what other people were doing, like from being disciplined all the time. I'm just like, oh, like now I'm an adult, like let me see what being,
Yeah.
like going out and having fun feels like or what have you. But I
Having a different type of freedom, I'm pretty sure it's.
yeah.
So now, sorry about that, but the tattoos, did they come in during that period or before, after?
I got my first tattoo when I was 14.
Oh, 14. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so it was pretty young.
That is young.
Yeah.
That is really young.
Yeah, I got a shamrock on my chest with my last name under it. And I think it was just because I was like, this was in high school. I was wrestling, and I was like, getting into drugs and like partying and just like being a tough guy and all that. So like, I think just having a tattoo was part of that life. And yeah, like I kept all the tattoo. I was pretty involved in like selling drugs and like getting in lots of trouble and shit that I'm not into anymore. But I kept all my tattoos underneath a t-shirt line so that way I could still present
Right.
as like as a normal person. Normal person, yeah. But after all the visible tattoos I've gotten in sobriety, like since I've denounced those old ways, because now I can't get away with anything. So remember that guy, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, what is one of the most, or a memory that you cherish the most while you were competing?
Shit. I remember like I remember the nerves, like I remember I think I was like in the Georgia Dome in Atlanta where they were hosting the Junior Olympics, and like being so fucking nervous, as like a kid.
Right.
Because like, there's tons of people. It's a huge stadium. They have like NFL games and stuff there.
I think that's the best of the best right there, right? I mean, that's why you guys are there.
Yeah. And, people from all around the world. And just like, I remember like my coach, like making me drink water, and like, I'm just like, and, they're calling my name, and like, I got to go out there and like, and do the thing. And I was able to do it. And it wasn't as, once the bell rang, it was just like it was, practicing in the home gym, And so it's just like, I'm like, oh yeah, I can fucking do this. I do this. It's like the battle is right here.
Mental.
It's all mental. And, yeah, afterwards, I fought, and then it was a big bracket. So like you had, it's like a tournament style. So like you have to like fight like multiple fights, especially if you win. And, yeah, just like, there was a point where it's just like, oh yeah, I can do this. Like, one before, all the nerves seemed the loudest, but it was cool. And my brother was competitive. My brother was better than I was, and he would like, he got, I think he got a gold medal.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, but we were like the same weight class, so quite often we'd be in the same bracket.
Oh man, that's insane.
It was good to have a rival, to like keep us sharp, because we would, same size, similar in age, we would compete, in the training room, and we'd compete like in tournaments, and we like the coaches knew that, it's like, hey, like, don't be the slow one, don't be like, your brother's working harder than you are right now. Yeah. And so I'm glad that I had him as
your partner. How are the drives back home?
Rough, dude, rough. Yeah,
it's like it's like, I won, but then you lost. It's like,
yeah, we had, those were tough rides home. Driving from, we grew up, I'm from North Carolina, so like the tournaments, were always like in Florida or like Atlanta or Texas. Long drives.
Jeez.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you guys got over it, or was it that time where you're like,
no, we hated each other so
really?
much. Oh yeah.
Oh,
like
man.
all of this, I mean, like home life like was always like a competition, for attention, for for food, for frickin' whatever. Like we were, you had to be first, and it was stressful, but like I'm grateful for it. Didn't looking back, it's part of what's made me me. A lot of people don't have that edge to them, and I'm grateful for it now. What's been fun about like being an adult is like and like taking all that time away from fighting, like after I got into drugs, and after I got accumulated so many like career ending injuries and tried to pivot, and now coming back into it at like 30, which is for most fighters almost retirement age, but thanks to technology, thanks to training, now I'm just in my prime and getting even stronger and stronger. I've kind of recreating those same patterns that I did when I was a kid, like carrying my stuff, walking from home to the gym, because we lived close to the gym. So now I like built my life like around Forge, to where like I take that same walk, except nobody's making me do it this time. No one's making me get up early. No one's making me, do any of this stuff. So it's been like, in without using like therapy terms, reparenting myself to where it's like, like I'm competing against me. I'm the one pushing me, and I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because someone's making me do it.
Right.
So it's been gratifying in like a whole new way. It's like satisfies my soul doing what I'm doing right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I mean, obviously, what they offer is great too. So that's awesome. But going back a little bit on the way you work, if you can tell us at what point did you get into drugs, and what made you get into drugs?
Yeah. I had my first drink at 12.
Wow.
Yeah. I started everything.
So you started so young.
Yeah.
Tattoo at 14.
Yeah, I started going to jail at 14. Started in North Carolina is different than California. There's no juvie. Like, I remember like first time I went to jail, me and my friend had just finished smoking weed.
Oh my god.
And because we smelled like pot, we got charged with possession and paraphernalia, trialed as adults.
Goodness.
And like, so at 14, like I've already got a record. And I'm just like, excuses, like a lot of people come from much worse. But at the time I was just like, well, shit, my future is fucked. You have to put this on like job interviews. I have to tell colleges, oh yeah, I've been arrested, blah. Really should have just lied, but I had told in my own head, I'm just like, oh shit, like I'm what these people say I am. Like I'm going to be a jailbird. I'm going to be a loser, what have you. Maybe it was the injuries. Like I said, I had gotten so many broken bones. I think I'd, developed a taste for pain medication. Because it was eventually like opiates that had what had done me in. And, but I also think that, a kind of turbulent home life made alcohol or getting outside of my own head look appealing. I think that was it. Like there was no experimentation stage when it came to substance use or alcohol. Some people will taste a beer, oh, I don't like it, and then wait till they're 21 to like have a night out. But growing up in the 90s and 2000s, I had access to the internet, and I think I looked up how to get drunk. And so I had like, fasted, before like drinking my first beer, and like drank it as fast as possible to get for the effect of alcohol. Mm-hmm. And that's how I drank. That's how I used, for the effect. And
now, what would you, because there's a lot of young kids and adults and guys out there that are probably going through the same thing of like, because they're in pain, they actually tend to go that route. What advice do you have for them?
It's tough because there's nothing you can say to somebody who isn't ready, but there's not anything wrong you can say to someone who is. I went to, I went to AA. Like I didn't really have any apprehensions going to it. I knew that like I had to go to it at the time. It was like a part of my probation, a part of like I had no other options. It was, get sober or go to jail. Like, at this point in my drinking and using career, I think I was like 20. I was 20 years old and looking at like a lot of trouble, jail time, and I was like, well, I guess I'll try this. And what's interesting enough is like it takes that like bottom point for someone to like act. It's like, oh, do I want to go to jail for the next 5 years? I guess I'll check out AA. Like, you don't have to go that low, before deciding something. And I went to it. I had an open mind, and I remember someone saying like, well, if you don't think you have a problem with it, just like stop for a year. And I was like, stop for a year? Like, that's crazy. Like maybe a month or something. But if that's usually people's excuses, like, oh, I'm not addicted. I can put it down whenever I want. And it's like, well, then do it for a year. Yeah. And if they're, oh, that's crazy, then that should be a sign that maybe I don't have control over it.
Yeah, that's very deep.
And now, a quick break to give a shout out to our amazing sponsors who keep this show going. Whether I'm at the gym or at work, Potencia is what keeps me going.
What is one of the biggest regrets that you have in your past life?
Regrets, dude. Oh man. What I had a separation. I was with somebody for 5 years, and she was the one that got me back into fighting. And I wasn't as good of a husband, boyfriend, as I should have been. And there's no undoing that. And I think that if I had a regret, it would to do her different. It wasn't right. It's fun. She was watching the, like I've been with her for a long time. We've only known each other through sobriety at this point, and we were watching the Conor McGregor documentary on Netflix, and we're watching, this guy's training, he's cutting weight, he's doing all this stuff, and she's like, you used to do that? I'm like, yeah, that was like my entire life, and she's like, I think you need to do this again. And I'm like, no, I've had, like a dozen broken bones, concussions, like I'm on borrowed time, I had my fighting. And she's like, you're not punchy, like you're like, I think that you can do this. I think you'd be really great. And I'm like, maybe I'll just go to a gym and
I'll try it out.
Yeah, and
again.
Then I went to Forge, and I didn't want to tell anybody about the injuries or the head injuries, because I didn't want.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, because I didn't want to. I knew that people care about you.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
After that baseball bat to the head, they were like I mean, even before that, I had like really bad concussions, and had been warned like I think like prior to the baseball bat, like I took a knee to the head, and
Wow.
they were like, hey, if you get hit in the head like that again, like you're gonna be a vegetable, like you gotta stop.
Goodness.
So like wrestling was kind of stinted after that, and I'm just like, okay, maybe it's time to stop. And then took the baseball bat to the head. And
Tell us about the story.
Oh, drugs were involved. Me and I was 18. It was my birthday, and the guys that I was like my everyday like hangouts from like high school. Like I don't know what your guys' high school days were like, but you after school.
I think from our age, they were every high school story is crazy.
Yeah, it gets worse. Yeah, it was my birthday, and they were just like, hey, come over, like, we got some beers, like, we're gonna, we'll smoke you, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was mostly just a pothead, and came over, and once I pulled the e-brake on my car, they're hitting my car with bats, just and I was like, what the fuck? But like, I like to fight, like I'll never back from any kind of fight. Like, I definitely was more crazy than anything at the time, so I was like, all right, fuck it, 2-on-1. And I got out of the car and had a little pocket knife, just like this one. And the dude swung at me. I blocked it with this arm, grabbed him and stuck him with the pocket knife in the belly. And he went like, it was, yeah, I remember that. And he was done. Like, the fight had gotten real,
Right,
like,
right.
The other guy was behind me. He swung and hit me in the head with a bat. And this is a small town.
Right.
All of this was like in the paper.
Jeez.
Like, this was like the most scandalous thing that had happened, I guess. at the time. And his side of the story, he said I said ouch, and then turned around and came at him with the knife. And I'm like, probably, like, I mean, like, I had been up, you know, for a few days,
Right.
probably. I was like, I was partying quite a bit, but so I guess I wasn't really just a pothead, but he kept swinging at me, and he got me in the ribs. At this point, like, my arm was just completely broken. Like, I've had to have a couple surgeries on it, and it's still smarts. But what? After he got me with in the ribs, I was just like, hold on, just stop. Like, what are we even fighting about? And he was like, I don't know.
I was about to ask you that. Like, what happened? Why did they start hitting your car?
And I was like, well, I'm gonna leave. And they were like, it was like this standoff. Like, you know, he's standing there with the bat. I'm trying to get to my car, but like not be within bat swinging range.
Right.
And he's trying to stay to the flank of my car so I don't run him over. And I get in the car, and like I try to run him over, but you know, like eventually, like I can feel like
Something's wrong.
yeah, like I can't use this arm. I'm trying to drive, but I have one arm now. I make it up the street to my friend's house, and you know, I'm just like, it's probably like 2 a.m. I'm like knocking on the back door, just like let me in. And he thought I was like doing a prank or something, because I've got a lot of blood, you know, like I got hit in the head with a bat. And he lets me in. I'm just like, dude, like give me a fucking beer or something, you know. And he gave me a couple pain pills and a beer, and I'm just like, and he's like, hey dude, like you're starting to pass out, like you look like shit. I'm gonna call an ambulance. You go like sit outside, like, cause you know I can't let them in here like asking questions. And I'm like, all right. So I sat outside until the ambulance came, and you know, we did an X-ray. I had, you know, obviously broken the whole joint of the elbow, broke an orbit, broke a couple ribs.
Jeez.
And yeah, when I went to sleep in the hospital, I woke up and the police had charged me with assault with a deadly weapon.
Oh my god.
And because they didn't bother to hear like my side of the story. And the story that got printed in the paper was just like what these guys said. They're like, oh, we were just hanging out on our porch, like with our bats in our hands at midnight, like we do. And this guy just came at us, and
Wow.
yeah. So like, that's what got printed. That's what, you know, these guys told. So it's like, now I have like this like reputation of just like being a psycho in a small town, and like nobody fucks with me at this point, which whatever. I like, oh god, I was 18. I found a reason to really stay drunk at this point, because I was trying to get out of this, you know, situation. I'm basically just selling drugs to like keep rent and keep a habit. But I wanted to like join the military or do something to just get out. And now that I've had surgery on this arm, like, you know, all this, like the medically like disqualified from joining the service. So I was, you know, I couldn't work. So I was just sleeping in my car, just taking pain pills. I had a lot of pain pills from all the broken bones. I'm just trying to stay asleep. And yeah, you know, just like, oh, like, you know, hopes of fighting are done. Like, you know, getting out of here, it's done. Like, whatever. And like, you know, I'm like 18 years old.
Darkest moments, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, some dark moments. But you know, just kind of kept going with that until, you know, even more trouble, you know, came. You know, now I'm selling heroin. I'm like maintaining a dwelling. You know, the DEA led the raid to like stop. You know, when you're selling heroin, someone's got to stop that. So, then I was like looking at like real trouble, and my dad bailed me out, and me and him hadn't really been talking for like some time, and that shit was crazy. Got to go to treatment, and even at this point, like I was you know, like you can't tell somebody like, hey, like if you got like, you know, if you go to treatment, you'll, you know, it'll look to the court like, hey, you're an addict who is just doing what they had to do to survive. You're not this, Scarface type guy who's like doing all this bad shit. And I'm like, but I'm not an addict. The insanity, right? And went to treatment. I got kicked out of treatment after 10 days from being a knucklehead. Like, I'm not, I definitely wasn't as like respectful and nice as I am now. Like, at the time, like, I was smoking a cigarette. I smoked at the time. I started smoking at 13. And, but the lady was like, oh, it's time to go to group. And I was like, hey, fuck you say to me, like, you don't tell me what to do, blah, blah. And so they kicked me out. And, like, really just burning every bridge until, I'm living in a halfway house where my probation officer, does surprise check-ins on me. I've got a curfew. I'm breathalyzed every day. And, have to drug test a few times a week. And just, like, got to go to AA meetings because, you don't have a job. And, like, I didn't mean to, like, get super into that, but it seems
No. I mean, I'm loving it, and I think this is a side of you that a lot of the viewers, they have to see, because there's a lot of people out there that they're battling to a lot of stuff, and they just stay quiet, or they think they're the only ones. But just hearing your story and you being who you are right now, I mean, it's just an honor listening to your story. And it's there is a way out, and I think I'll let you give that advice to the listeners and to viewers that are maybe going through that path. But thank you for opening up, and it's an amazing story. So please continue.
Appreciate that, Caesar.
It also gets kind of interesting.
And now, a quick break to give a shout out to our amazing sponsors who keep this show going.
Dang, you know what? We gotta have some bomb food. As a matter of fact, you know what? Toros Meat Market, mi compa, tiene 4 mojarritas ahorita, fritas, tilapia, lo mejor de lo mejor. 32 onzas de arroz, 32 onzas de frijoles, 16 onzas de pico de gallo, bro. Damn, 20 tortillas. Guess what? $35, wanna roll? Let's go.
Interesting too, because you start to think from his future opponent's
Yes.
perspective. Because what I've seen from knowing Seth and when he fights, that Seth, there's a part of him that comes out in the cage, and it's one of those things where it takes a minute to get it back in, like that. And because you walk around and you talk with him, and he's one of the most respectful, kindest people I've met. And then you hear about like this world that he lived in, and the he gets into that cage and he's able to kind of like let the Hulk out. And it's like we talk a lot of we get real worried for the people in the cage that go in there with him. But the more they know these stories, they realize this guy's not like, you don't just blow smoke at this guy. Like, you say some shit's coming back. Like, like you got to be real careful in this world where we're in now, where it's like a lot of social media where people say things they don't mean.
Yes.
Seth, when he says something, he means it. And when he comes in the cage, he comes in with everything. So you can kind of start to feel like he's through and through. Like when he gets in that cage, he gets to let out a part of himself, which is, rightfully angry.
Yeah.
And he's in the hurt business, so he gets to let that out, and he inflicts.
It really is like, the best feeling in the world. I mean, like, to do that, it's definitely something that like I'm designed for, is to do. It's, and it feels like keeping like all of these struggles, or things, opportunities, things that happened in my life were to get me back into doing this. I feel like when I was younger, I couldn't contain this rage, this fire, this like thing. I couldn't keep it focused to the ring. But now, today, getting sober, coming back at it with a mature vantage point, like I'm able to just isolate all that shit into each round. And
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
It's the best.
Fast forward a little bit. What made you say, I'm done with all this? I'm done with the drugs. I'm done with just being the way I was. Like, what got you to that point?
Like, I wish that there was a specific, like, burning bush moment to where it just happened. It was gradually, probably over that first year sober. And then, that first year was so tough to achieve the detox from all the drugs was so awful. And I was I just never want to experience that again. I never want to go back to jail. None of that shit is worth it. There was like a tiny sliver of me that believed that life could be different, and I just held on to that and kept, like feeding that. And through other people or finding like spirituality, finding God,
Amen.
yeah, bring that part, more of that into my life, the better all of a sudden it happened. And then years go by and I'm a completely different person. Yeah, that's been, and it's, fighting has even brought me a lot closer to God in that respect.
Amen.
And yeah, it's been outstanding, bud. I fucking, so I'm curse a lot.
No, you're good.
Yeah. From like getting sober and like, kind of got to get a hobby. I still have all this energy. I still, from not fighting, I thought about fighting every freaking day. Every day, it keeps me up. I could have did this. I should have done that. But now I can't. And I started doing music to kind of have an outlet for that energy. And it's great. I love music. It brought me all the way to LA. The friends that I made through creative stuff, art and music, were like some of the best that I've ever had. And what I like, I don't know what the fuck made me start wanting to fight again. I think that like I was, I'm still an athlete, in this time, like I'm lifting weights, running, like doing all this stuff, but it's just not scratching the itch. I want to hit stuff.
Have you ever thought about maybe this is where God wants you to be? I mean, you started fighting at a young age, did the things that you did, now you're back on it. Maybe this is your purpose to, and also tell your story for many fighters that are up and coming, that are maybe battling through all these things. But I think God always puts you where he wants you to be. And maybe, again, this is something that is your purpose in life. And for everybody that's going through something, I mean, you're a perfect example that when you want to get out of it and you have faith and you turn to God, things are not impossible and they're possible.
Yeah. That's definitely, I feel like, this has been God's plan for me, like God doesn't put us through anything that we can't handle. And definitely. I think this was all meant to refine me into being who I am today and where he has planned for me, which, I take every day at a time, but it's, I'm putting all of me into this and more, I'm awesome. Going to be the best fighter that the world's ever seen.
There you go.
Everyone knows Seth Knifeface Coleman, and that's my legacy. That's what I'm going to leave to my kids and to other people.
Amazing.
No
amazing.
kids yet, but
tell us a little bit. Do you have a date on your next fight?
Oh, mid-January. The date hasn't been set, but it's for the UNF 135 title.
Awesome.
I'm going to win that, and I'm going to dedicate that victory to my dad. My dad just got in a really bad car crash.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. He by a miracle, he was unconscious for a few days, but he's out, and like we're texting again, nice. Which has been something, because him and I still like a bit of a sordid relationship, but we started talking again after this, because and he's real proud. I sent him my highlights, and he's like, oh wow, that's really cool. Nice. So he doesn't know that I'm gonna win that belt for him, but that's gonna be my last amateur fight. Amateur MMA is like, yeah, very very similar to pro MMA. There's no headgear. It's not like boxing where you do like 100 amateur fights. This will be my 5th AMI fight, and then going straight into pros.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, you'll get that W for him. I'm pretty sure. So tell us a little bit about is there any like room for sponsors if they want to sponsor you for the next fight? I mean, I know there's a lot of businesses out there that are interested, and is how can they get a hold of you? Or
through my social media, at Nada5150, NADA5150. I'm open to talking with any brands or businesses that are interested in sharing this vision.
You need to get a knife sponsor.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right?
That'd be sick, right?
Steak knife sponsor.
Yeah, there's a lot of right now. Free Head Kicks
nice.
has been helping taking care of me. Miss Cheese Boba Cafe in Little Tokyo, which is like very close to the gym.
Best boba out there.
Best
Yeah, I
boba.
gotta go try it out then.
Oh, yeah, it's sick.
Definitely.
Everybody loves a boba.
Yeah.
And who else? Hope Interventions,
Okay.
which is an interventionist company helping people get sober.
Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, please reach out to them, or even if you guys want to reach out to us, and then we'll go ahead and put you in contact with them. But amazing.
Your church.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Saint. I go to St. Basil's now, Roman Catholic Church in Koreatown, but the church that I got confirmed and baptized in, I guess it's over a year ago now, is also in Little Tokyo, just a spit away from the gym. That's St. Francis Xavier's Catholic Church.
Incredible support team, and
Yeah, that's
They come
been
out,
fun.
they
Yeah,
show up.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're the best.
Awesome. Well, I know not as is already our time is almost up, but what would you want to leave your audience with? What advice?
Pray, even if you don't really, pray typically. Try it out. Pray, ask God to do His will, and just come at life like open, because every day is precious.
There you go. Amen. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for, giving me your story. Such an honor having you here, and many blessings to you, to your family, brothers, mom, dad, everybody, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Caesar.
most
Pleasure.
importantly, we're getting a mouthpiece by Deor now.
Oh,
yeah?
definitely.
Oh, I
Yes,
want one of
yes.
those,
We're
yeah.
gonna definitely take your impression right now, and we're gonna go ahead and do something sick for you. Maybe put some knives there.
Yo.
Right, but thank you guys once again.